To the Nomadic Owl Oracles YouTube page. This is my first month to do video recordings, so please bear with me as these videos may not have the best quality in the beginning. I am working out the kinks, trying to figure out what works best and how I would like to go with this. I do have limited space in my house, so that's also another thing to consider. I apologize if the background is not as pleasing as some people would like for it to be. I am figuring out how to accommodate everybody and try to make this flow easier and look more appealing. So anyways, my name is Jessica and I have been doing readings since I was about 16 years old. My uncle gave me my first deck of oracle cards back then. He was a psychic, he was my best friend, and he was also like a father to me. He taught me a lot of different things, and I've learned more over the years. I used to not read for people because I felt that they would judge me, and I didn't want to be judged for my beliefs and everything like that. I did live in the South, and people are very judgmental down there. However, I have come over the past few years into my knowledge, my wisdom, and I've started trying to help people as much as I can. So that is my point in this page, is to help people. I'm not here to get rich and make a lot of money. I do readings to help people. That is my intention. So this reading is going to be for the month of January 2019 for the sign of Libra. This is going to be fluid. It could be prior to January, during January, or after January that this applies to your situation. This is a general reading. So when I say general, it's not based on anything specific like romance, your career, your finances, anything like that. If you do want your own personal reading, I highly suggest that you send me a message on here, or you can send me a message through my Facebook page, which is the Nomadic Owl Oracle. And then on there, it will have information as far as how to contact me. I do offer an 8-card spread reading that is for $20. You can pick out which decks we use. I have over 14 at this point, and I feel that whenever you choose your own decks, that helps you connect to the cards and the meanings that are going to come through at that time. I do want to point out also that I cuss at times, so I do use language like that. If that's what I'm given at that time, that's what I do. I'm not like most readers. I don't do any certain layout or anything like that. I do based on my intuition and what I'm guided to do at that time. So that is something to keep in mind with my readings. I do also want to let you know that when I do the readings, I base it on energy. I don't base it on a person particularly unless it states that it's for a person, okay? Because these are general readings. There's many people that are watching these videos. I try to accommodate everybody the best that I can. I do pray over the cards. I saged, I meditated, and I've called in my guides, my ancestors, and everything like that, and the creator as well prior to doing this reading. I like to shuffle the cards off camera and already have it ready and sit with the cards for a moment prior to me doing the reading to make it flow better. Also to help, you guys, so you don't have to sit there and watch me do all that. I know that me as a personal person watching videos, when I see somebody shuffling for 5 minutes, it really gets annoying after a while. Anyways, so without further ado, I'm going to start your reading. I do want to let you know that this, like I said, could be for January, before January, or after January. If it doesn't resonate with you, please check your sun, moon, and rising signs. If you're not familiar with what those are, you can go on to Cafe Astrology or also onto Google to find that out. That's not really my forte. However, it does all tie in together. So if that's something you're interested in, I strongly suggest you research it, and it might help you out also. So for the first card, which is your overall card for the month of January, Libra, the first card that you have is the Temperance card. Okay, so the Temperance card, what it represents is being able to find balance in a situation, being able to study into a situation to find a way to navigate something that might be kind of sticky, something that might not be flowing like the way that you want it to flow. It's a situation that you're kind of like, man, how do I go about this? What do I need to do to bring peace to this situation? How do I need to get things from being unstuck? Okay, so that is the general message that you're coming through with for the month of January. That is the overall energy. the first card that you had that I pulled after that is the Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant is a card that talks about, you know, an institution such as a school, a bank, you know, like maybe a marriage or a job or something that you are highly tied to. This could be like, you know, a church, something like that, your religion, whatever the case may be. It's something that you can learn more from, something that is there as a structure to help you. Sometimes it can be oppressive, sometimes it can be a good thing. Only you know what that is at this time. But it's saying that whatever this institution is, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a relationship, a school, your job, something of that sort, it is there to help you, to teach you, to see something different at this time, to give you more skills, to give you the knowledge that you need in this situation. The next card that you have after that is the Ace of Swords. So this card talks about being able to navigate a situation, being able to progress, being able to bring in good things. But at the same point, even though you're bringing in these good things, you might need to defend yourself. You might need to defend your beliefs, your status, your property, things like that. Because, you know, with the swords, it talks about being willing to fight if you need to in a situation. That's usually what they represent, is having to defend yourself, having to defend whatever it is that's going on at that time. After that, you had the Fool card. So the Fool card, it talks about being able to take a chance, being able to go in a direction and believe and know that that direction is a good one. You're taking a leap of faith in this direction. You're stepping forward, not really knowing what's going to happen, but you have faith and you know that within you that good things are going to come about from that situation. After that, you had the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is speaking of, cups are about emotions, feelings, relationships, you know, like how, you know, you go about achieving what makes you happy, what brings you love and into your life. However, with the Four of Cups, it's talking about being restless, being at a point where you're not really feeling really good about a situation, you're apathic, you know, you're going through a point where you don't know, like, do I even want this anymore? Do I even want to be here anymore? You know, like, this is boring. This isn't what I want, you know? So you're considering many things. Maybe you're considering leaving a job. Maybe you've been going to a church or you believe something and now it's just not really fulfilling you anymore. You feel like there's more out there for you. Maybe you're in a relationship and it's just lost its spark and you're like, you know, I really just don't feel it anymore. So it's talking about, you know, you need to try to see things a little bit differently, because if you jump in the wrong direction, you might be jumping in the wrong one, you know, and you might bring in some bad into your life. So you need to sit with yourself, like it was saying with the Temperance card, and try to balance it out and figure out what is the best option at this time, because you are going to be bringing good things in. You are going to be stepping forward with a new way of looking at things. You just have to try to get rid of that, you know, doubt and things like that. So that was my intuitive take on these cards. Now I'm going to read to you what the actual cards mean. I am new to tarot as far as like being able to read it to other people. I normally work with the Oracle, okay? So the Oracles I feel completely comfortable with. Tarot is something that I'm learning. I'm a student. A lot of us are, so I'm not afraid to admit that. So what I will do now is I am going to read to you the definitions of these cards to give you a more thorough take on this reading. So with the first one, you had the Temperance card. And the Temperance talks about balance, you know. It talks about being able to navigate a situation that you may not have known how to in the past, okay? So the meaning of this card is balance, adjustment, resources, guidance, choices, moderation, and reconciliation. It says that the upright meaning is you may be managing a huge workload, balancing budgets, or negotiating with demanding people. Carefully assess your priorities, and you will get the balance right. Give others what they need in return. And and make sure that it's in a reasonable measure, but conserve your energy too. Make time to schedule, plan, and care for your own needs. Overall, the card asks you to redress whatever is out of kilter in your life. The additional meanings of this card is connecting with your guides and angels at this time. So this is saying to you that, like maybe you're working too much. Maybe you're investing so much into a situation and you're not seeing the outcome as to what you're wanting at this time. Call in your guides, call in your ancestors, your angels, and creator, and ask them what they want you to do at this time to be able to step forward with faith and know that things are going to change in this situation, okay? The next card that you have was the Hierophant. And like I was saying, that talks about institutions and things such as that. So bear with me one second while I find it here in this deck. And then I can give you more information as far as that. So the Hierophant, its meaning is unity, orthodoxy, divinity, divine law, connection, alliance, and commitment. It says the Hierophant has diverse meanings, from traditional religion and spiritual knowledge to educational opportunities. Overall, the card denotes unity, connecting mind, body, and soul, or making a key commitment. The card can also represent following or becoming an inspiring spiritual leader, mentor, or teacher. The additional meanings in this card are career progress and marriage. So maybe right now, like you're seeking out a spiritual path, or you're seeking out your angels and guides like it talked about in the other card to try to find the answers to what you're looking for. Find the knowledge that you need to be able to move forward with, dignity, with, let me think here, with a clear knowing, a clear path, a clear way of being. Knowing that, hey, what I'm doing is what I'm called to do. This is divinely guided. This is divinely the path that I'm supposed to be on. Okay? So then after that, you had the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, talks about beginnings and being able to draw in what you're wanting to draw into your life. It says the meanings are beginnings, decisions, insight, success, clarity, and the intellect. This ace reveals success and a breakthrough in a situation. With determination and clarity of purpose, you get what you want in work, creative projects, and relationships. Everything changes for the better when this ace comes into play, but there may be some level of confrontation still. Wield this awesome sword with care. So it's saying that things are about to come to fruition. The things that you're trying to achieve are coming. You just might have to defend yourself and fight a little bit longer to get to that point. The next card that you have was the Fool. And so the Fool, the key meanings are risk, innocence, opportunity, beginnings, youth, and being able to move in whatever direction necessary. The meaning of this card is an adventure, opportunity, new phase, or perspective beckons. There is an air of spontaneity and optimism as you follow your dream in the spirit of freedom. Take a breath before you begin, and to calculate the risk before you take that leap of faith. Additional meanings for this card is independence, a student, a young person leaving the home. So like I was telling you a moment ago, you're using the Temperance to be able to balance out a situation. You're studying, you're going maybe to this institution, this person, this situation, to find out more information. Like maybe you're taking classes to learn something so you can further your career. Maybe you're going to a mentor to help teach you a different way to see things. Maybe you're trying to pursue your spiritual path. With this, you are following your dream. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You just need to make sure that you research it more before you take any leaps of faith, is what it's saying. And then the last card that you had from these is the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is one of those cards that, it's not the best of cards to get in a reading. It's just, you're just not feeling whatever the situation is at the moment. The key meanings of this is hesitation, dissatisfaction, and restlessness. So it says the Four reveals listlessness and hesitation. You may feel doubt or even cynicism when offered love or a work opportunity. Generally, you may have low energy and motivation at this time and withdraw into a kind of restless apathy. If you're in an established relationship, now is the time to rekindle the romance in that relationship. So it's saying that, you're being a little bit too cynical. You're doubting situations that you really probably shouldn't be doubting, and you need to step outside of that and see it from a different perspective, because, what you have coming in and what's surrounding you is going to bring you what you're looking for. You just have to have patience and a different way of seeing it. So now what I'm going to do is I do want to show you the decks that I just used. This is the Game of Thrones Tarot deck by HBO. I apologize, but it doesn't actually have who made them other than HBO. So I don't know who the authors are, who the people that did the pictures or anything like that, because it's not listed. I apologize. I really like this deck because it is something that I can identify with. I love the show. I watch the show. It is one of my favorite shows that's currently on. And it helps me relate to the cards more. It helps me to understand the situation more when I see the pictures and the characters. So on another note, we are going to move to my other deck, which is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. This is one of my favorite decks that I have, and I like it because it gives you precise information. It can give you a general information, romantic information, prosperity information, or protection, depending on what you're trying to do the reading on. Today, I'm just doing it on general because this is a general reading. So I went ahead and I pulled your clarifying cards from that deck. And the first one that you have is To Be Fair. Okay, so To Be Fair talks about looking at the situations from all angles, seeing it for what it really is. Don't try to look through something only with your own personal insight into it. You need to be balanced. You need to use that Temperance card that it was telling you about to balance the situation, to see it for what it really truly is. The next card that you have is Chaos and Conflict. Okay, so chaos and conflict would speak to me about going through a really bad, unstable time. Things have been really crazy. You don't know, what's going to happen next. You're trying to pace yourself. You're trying to get through this, but it just seems out of whack, okay? Just know that things are going to get better. This situation is saying you have to have faith. You have to learn a new way of being, a new way of doing things to bring in the stability and the things that you're trying to bring in at this time. The last card that you have is the Mending card, okay? And that card talks about, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see it. That card talks about being able to mend relationships, mending rifts in a situation. So maybe you had a falling out with somebody, or maybe you've been at odds with somebody or a situation or your boss or your school or whatever the case may be. This talks about being able to bring peace and balance back into that situation. So that was my intuitive on those cards, and now I'm going to read from the book what it actually means for each of these. So To Be Fair, like I was saying, is talking about seeing a situation for what it truly is, not putting your own thoughts and feelings into a situation. Even though, yes, you feel them, even though, yes, they are legitimate and you have a right to feel them, you need to take that out of the account, okay? So the essential meanings of this card is balance, justice, a need to consider all options, mutual benefit, and the law of cause and effect. The Oracle's message is life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing. Yet over time, they strike a balance. You move from being stasis to doing, from discovering to loving to letting go, to begin all over again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all your experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see that how the universe adjusts in the perfect balance. You will reap what you sow. For every cause there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed to you now. So it's saying, yeah, you were feeling, just out of whack and you just don't know what to do. You need to be fair. Everything is a cycle. Everything processes through in its own divine timing. So have faith in knowing that things are going to shift in the right direction because you are calling in and taking the steps that you need to balance the situation. The next card that you had was the Chaos and Conflict card. And if you will bear with me 1 second, I need to get some water, so sorry guys. Okay, so Chaos and Conflict. It says that the meaning is disarray, being at a cross point with another. The tensions of opposites, the value of chaos before order. The oracle's message is opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well. As you become unmoored by it, scattered by the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself that you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray in your life. You may find yourself at a cross point with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may feel a need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Excuse me, guys. Don't be too eager to fight at this time. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. So whatever situation you have going on that has caused you to feel just out of whack, unstable, unworthy, just not happy, it's saying that you need to see the other's point of view in this situation. You need to step back for a moment, breathe, take some time to look at it correctly and look at it from all points of view before you act forward. This situation is going to pass. You just need to have some patience and not blow up and lose your temper, pretty much is what it's saying. Then the next card that you have was the Mending card. And the Mending card, it says that the meaning is forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. The oracle's message is each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and also the arguments that we rehearse over and over again in our head. Now is a time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, and to make peace, and to make amends to others, and set yourself free. So, with you being able to find balance, and accepting the situation as what it truly is, you're going to be able to mend the situation. You're going to be able to bring into fruition the things that you're wanting to bring in. You just have to have patience and let go of all the hurts and the things that upset you and see it clearly. So I would highly suggest at this time to take some time out in nature, to take some time by yourself, meditate, maybe go hiking, sit by the water. If you don't want to go outside or it's too cold or whatever the situation may be, maybe take a hot bath. Just spend some time with your thoughts and spend some time with your guides and your, prayers or whatever you do to help you find the clarity and the balance that you need at this time. So again, guys, I hope this resonated with you. It was a general reading. If you would like a personal reading, please contact me on here or at my Facebook page, The Nomadic Owl Oracle, and we can go ahead and set that up for you. Otherwise, I hope that you have a great January 2019, and I'll see you in February. If you have any other questions or anything, please feel free to contact me, and I'll see you then. Have a great day, guys.